Questions 1 through 9 are based on the following passage from Firelight by Tobias Wolff, 1996. My mother swore we'd never live in a boarding house again, but circumstances did not allow her to keep this promise. She decided to change cities. We had to sleep somewhere. This boarding house was worse than the last. Unfriendly, funeral heavy with the smells that disheartened people allow themselves to cultivate. On the floor below ours, a retired merchant seaman was coughing his lungs out. He was a friendly old guy, always ready with a compliment for my mother as we climbed past the dim room where he sat smoking on the edge of his bed. During the day, we felt sorry for him, but at night, as we lay in wait for the next racking seizure, feeling the silence swell with it, we hated him. I did anyway. My mother said this was only temporary. We were definitely getting out of there. To show me and maybe herself that she meant business, she went through the paper during breakfast every Saturday morning and circled the advertisements for furnished apartments that sounded, as if she put it, right for our needs. I liked that expression. It made me feel as if our needs had some weight in the world and would have to be reckoned with. Then, putting on her shrewd face, my mother compared the rents and called out most of the expensive apartments and also the very cheap ones. We knew the story on those, the dinky fridge and weeping walls, the tub sinking through the bathroom floor. We'd been that route. When my mother had 5 or 6 possibilities, she called to make sure they were still open, and we spent the day going from one to another. We couldn't actually take a place yet. The landlords wanted first and last month's rent, plus cleaning deposit, and it was going to be a while before my mother could put all that together. I understood this, but every Saturday my mother repeated it again, so I wouldn't get carried away. We were just looking, getting a feel for the market. There is a pleasure to be found in the purchase of goods and services. I enjoy it myself now, playing the part of a man who knows what he wants and can take it home with him. But in those days, I was mostly happy just to look at things. And that was lucky for me because we did a power of looking and no buying. My mother wasn't one of those comparison shoppers who head straight for the price tag, shaking their faces and beefing about the markup to everyone in sight. She had no great interest in price. She had no money either, but it went deeper than that. She liked to shop because she felt at home in stores and was interested in the merchandise. Sales clerks waited on her without impatience, seeing that there was nothing mean or trivial in her curiosity. This curiosity that kept her so young and drove her so hard. She just had to see what was out there. We always shop, but the first fall in Seattle, when we were more broke than we'd ever been, we really hit our stride. We looked at leather luggage. We looked at televisions and large Mediterranean consoles. We looked at antiques and Oriental rugs. Looking at Oriental rugs isn't something you do lightly. You can't be squeamish. You have to be free of shame, absolutely sure of your right to look at what you cannot buy. And so we were.